This is where our hope began, the glory of the Son of Man, an innocent and holy King, convicted of a crime unseen. Scoffed and bare, your skin was torn. You climbed that hill, your body worn. All of our best intentions failed. They placed the crown, your hands were nailed. On the cross, heaven slain, you bore our sin and felt our shame. And then your soul cried out, your final breath, the blood of God on hands of men. But it doesn't end there. You rose again on that day. The walls they built could not contain. Yeah, you rose again on that day. Brought hope with you back from the grave. Yeah, you rose again on that day. The walls they built could not contain. Yeah, you rose again on that day. Brought hope with you back from the grave.
I heard I was designed for tragedy, so they chopped and screwed my body into 2 wooden beams, joined at the torso, but more so, they told me that today I would meet him, the one responsible for my bloody fate. So in deep hatred I waited, but then I saw him, and there he was, lying broken and beautiful like stained glass, shattered in the palm of the ground. And he looked up at me with an exhausted smile in his eyes, like I had a finish line tattooed across my face. And then he held me like he missed me, and he missed me like he had bad aim and never intended to hit me. Then it hit me that lumberjack possessed by the Grim Reaper didn't make a mistake when he picked me. And this so-called felon, this stranger wasn't a stranger. In fact, he was the creator, my maker, the sower of my seed, who knew every letter of my story like he read wood in his sleep. But it never fit into my mind that I was tailored to suit a king until I witnessed him carry me upon his back as if my splinters comforted his wounds. I thought I was planted in shame, but for his sake I was only cut down to be raised on Calvary's hill. Even though I was stripped of my integrity, I was adorned with his royal clothing line, his name branded across me, King of the Jews, a design that was always fashionable in the mouths of angels. He drove a piercing nail through his ribs abyss which penetrated mine, just to remind me that this hand would be upon me at all times. They lodged another in his other, and while they thought he'd be crushed, they just secured my hand to the one that could heal. With a touch they buried the final nail and made sure it was deep. But they just didn't know it would only help me get closer to the feet of he who made a treadmill out of the sea. And he died. And there we were, frozen in time like eternity's heart stopped, with the backdrop of a depressed sky that looked like it sounded like a smell that you wouldn't touch, let alone taste. Such a senseless act of love wrapped in a blanket of agony, woven by the fingers of men whose hearts look just like yours. And for the last several hours I pretended to be his temporary throne, a throne that buckled at the weight of the glory of a king whose nickname is Majesty. And so, when they unchained our souls and carried him down, I worshipped and I stood, old and rugged, but not naked, because I realized that I was covered in his blood. But there's this thing about his blood. It still illuminates with the color of awesome, and it speaks with the voice of roaring oceans when they harmonize with rumbling skies. And it's like it never stops flowing, like freestyle sessions with instrumentals on repeat. It flows like rivers streaming with life and currents strong enough to wash away the stench of sin from the stones you call hearts and the brooks you call lives. He's alive, he is life, he's the tree of life, he's divine, he's the vine, he's the tree of life. But I became the tree when he was hanging from me, like you become free when you hang on to he, like he caught you running away from your old master. You could hang on this tree if you only believe. You can hang on this tree if you only leave or forsake you, is what he vows to never do. And he's committed, so committed that he could have left me stumped, but he didn't. And every time you come across a cross, you'll find his purpose in my image. And from now on, if you daily carry me, he will always carry you, 'cause he did all of this while he had me on his back. But he had you on his heart, 'cause he knew exactly what it would take to get this message